Mike Perlak here to entertain you with the help of Michael W. Smith. Maybe we are entertaining angels unaware. I said maybe we are entertaining angels unaware. Cute song. His daughter Whitney Smith sings at the end of it. Recently I listened to a series of Michael W. Smith CDs I have, including "I'll Lead You Home" that has that track on it. The first decade and the second decade, and it's not the first time I come across that term, "angels unaware," but for some reason, its meaning eluded me. It's talking about children or a child, angels unaware. I came across that term when I was growing up from as part of it was the title of a book series, including Quantum Leap. I read this when I was a kid. I've had this book since I lived at home, and this is the only story I ever read that made me cry. This character on the cover is supposed to be the adult version of the little girl Teresa from the episode of Quantum Leap, Another Mother. Remember that one? I love that. Jeez. I'm a Quantum Leap fan. I just recently wanted to engage in a little spending spree on eBay and got some of the books from the series I did not have. I'm happy to say once I get them in the mail, I'll have all of the ones in the series. Even though the show went off the air in '93, this Quantum Leap book series, you see the characters, that's supposed to be Al, there's Sam. But this book series we were still making them all the way through the year 2000. Even though the show went off the air in '93 with that last episode, Mirror Image, which a lot of fans were disappointed with. Anyways, these stories, you think of them as like the Lost Leaps. I'll read you the plot of this one, just for reference. A leaper earns his wings. September 1981. A little girl named Teresa Bruckner is visited by an angel, a man in strange clothes who says his name is Al. He sings her a lullaby and promises to come back someday before vanishing in a flash of blue light. April 1995. Teresa Bruckner is no longer sure she believes in the angel Al. In fact, she doesn't know what she believes anymore. So she goes to a peaceful New England monastery to rest and think and plan, and according to Ziggy, to die. Now, Sam Beckett, who has leapt into a visiting priest, must change things for Teresa as he once did before. But the odds are not good, and it soon becomes obvious that it will take more than one leaper and one cigar-smoking angel to save her from certain death. Anyways, I wanted to do a journal entry. I actually probably should do a video just about this book series, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Double or Nothing, Sam leaps into twins. And because it's in the written word, it describes the leap as like his soul being torn in half. It's been years since I seen the episode, but I was thinking about it because it was before I did this video, and I was remembering one of the things I loved about that episode. Sam leaps into, a single mom. She's a single mom because the father died because it was the '80s, and that was before no-fault divorce court made things very easy and very impulsive for the female of the species. But anyways, of course, the little girl being under the age of 5 in contents of the show. Animals and children under 5 can see Sam and Al. For those of you who are not that familiar with the show or maybe forgot. Anyways, so the little girl, Teresa, in the series can see that that's not my mommy, that's a man. So they have to explain to this child, this little girl, Teresa, that we're here for a little while. We're here to help your brother or whatever. So we're going to be here for a little while. Mommy's just on a little break, and eventually we're going to go away, and Mommy will be back. I don't know if they found this little girl to act this part. So she looks like, why? And Sam turns Al, that's actually a very good question, Al. I think you're still working on it. Anyways, Quantum Leap, good show. All right, also for this journal entry, I wanted to give somewhat of an explanation for all those videos I posted in that Journey cover band on this channel. A cover band called Infinity. They actually had three. This cover band had 3 names. Recaptured is what they go under when they're covering Journey. Although I thought it seemed to me like when it first started, I thought they were going to only play the old Journey stuff, which I wasn't too familiar with. I was more familiar with the 80s stuff. But they also have a cover band called Infinity. As a matter of fact, if you go to infinity2k.com, you'll find out everything and anything you want about this band. But under this Infinity title, they actually cover classic rock. They also have a cover band called Boss X, or Boss Sticks. Boss Sticks, which obviously is the band Boston and the band Styx. The icon looks like that too. But I don't think they knew enough Journey songs to fill the 2 hours that they had. So they did go off into other areas, Eagles, Queens. At one point they played Jump. I believe I shared that on there. And the audience approved, so I guess that's all that all really mattered. But when they were playing Jump and everybody was dancing and jumping around, I started to look around and wondering and wonder to myself if this is what rock and roll heaven is like. Anyways, anything else, really, just watch those videos. They're pretty self-explanatory. At one point, they were passing around the donation bucket, and that was a video I titled, "The Journey Cover Band Singer Finds Out How They're Getting Paid." And he kept asking on the footage, what is this for? So we can pay you. All right, dig out your wallet. Check out that video on this channel. But I was glad that they did play Sender My Love, because my sister would have been disappointed if they didn't. The singer kept going on and bragging about, we know X amount of songs, and I swear, when the show started, he said 400. Later on, he said 600, so maybe the number just goes up as the show goes on, or maybe by then he was a little tipsy, I don't know. But there were some songs that the singer obviously didn't know all the lyrics. But anyways, it was a good time, and it's pretty cool. I live pretty close to an area where I can watch a free concert. Well, semi-free. Still got to pay for food and put a couple of bucks in the bucket. Otherwise, you got to do your part. All right, last but not least, for this journal entry, I wanted to talk a little about, I got to go to the DMV one day next week and renew my driver's license. And it got me thinking, and I think I got an anecdote I can share. Going to the DMV where I live now is a drop in the bucket compared to where I used to live in Crook County. Excuse me, Cook County. So, the guy wearing his T-shirt said Crook County. Yeah, I know what this is. Oh, exactly, Crook County. Exactly what Cook County is. I know firsthand how corrupt Cook County is. It's too bad. I mean, it's the southern part of Illinois is, I guess, okay, but the corruption has too much of a hold of the city of Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city. Beautiful city. Too bad it's in such a corrupt district as Crook County. Anyways, I know firsthand just how crooked Crook County is. So, when I went to get my driver's license when I was a kid, man, first of all, the DMV in Cook County, the people that work there are miserable. The folks that have to be there are freaking miserable. I remember the guy was giving me shit because my signature didn't match on my signature that I wrote, for the driver's license didn't match the signature on my Social Security card. And this was like, this guy behind it. He was an old guy with glasses. This was years ago. I vaguely remember it, but I remember his attitude. Sign your signature this way from now on. It's basically how the whole thing ended. And it wasn't until after the facts that I realized that Social Security card with my name, my first and last name written on there, it wasn't until after the facts I realized that was my grandmother's handwriting on there. I remember thinking, what the hell does this guy want me to do? Dig up my dead grandmother to verify the signature? But like I said, it wasn't until after the facts that I realized that was my grandmother's signature, or handwriting, on this card. That obviously, goes back to when I was a kid. Anyways, so in the aftermath of all this, what ticked me off the most is this guy was giving me a hard time because of that. In the same district, Crook County, where my own father was able to get a state ID with my name, my information, and his mug. Yeah. I was telling a coworker about this, and this coworker shared some with me that he actually helped Crook County build their building for storing evidence. He mentioned that he actually got hurt with some barbed wire, and I thought, it makes sense that Crook County would want barbed wire around the building where they store their evidence, whether that evidence is legit or planted. They want that security of the barbed wire. But anyways, yeah, that's what ticked me off the most. That guy gave me a hard time because of that. And in the same district where my own father was able to use my ID, or steal my identity. I confiscated that ID from my father. I keep it in a secure place. And this video's gone on long enough. Let's just say that I hope a judge never sees fit to lecture me on having faith in bureaucracy. Mike Perlak, thank you for your time. Any judge, for that matter.